My beloved, listen closely. Heaven has paused just to reach you. This is your final call to stop accepting a pain I did not assign you. Do not scroll away. Do not close your heart. Others might hear these words, but right now it is just you and me. I am speaking directly to you, straight into the center of your heart. I brought you here on purpose. You waited long enough. This moment is your turning point. You have been carrying confusion like a secret backpack, heavy, invisible to others, but crushing your shoulders. You have been loyal to faces that smiled while their hearts grew tight around your rise. You kept asking yourself, is it me? Am I imagining it? You replayed conversations until your mind spiraled and sleep felt like a stranger. The smile at the table, the joke that landed like a rock, the "I'm just concerned" that made your spirit shrink. I saw it. I saw you swallow your voice to keep the room comfortable. I saw you shrink your light to protect their feelings. I saw your kindness used as a leash. My child, I am not breaking your family. I am removing what has been breaking you. Hear me. Exposure is not punishment. Exposure is protection. When I reveal, I heal. When I separate, I save. Mercy sometimes looks like distance. Deliverance sometimes looks like a closed door. I am not here to make you choose bitterness. I am here to break the agreement you made with quiet suffering. I am not asking you to fight. I am asking you to stand. Let me be your defense. Let me be your clarity. Let me be your peace. You feared that if you acknowledged what your spirit already knows, the whole house would collapse. You feared being called dramatic, ungrateful, disloyal. You feared being the problem. Hear me. Your discernment is not rebellion. Your boundaries are not betrayal. Your tenderness is holy, but your soul is not a doormat. You cannot preserve an image and lose your identity. You cannot keep pretending and keep your peace. The fog that has lived in your mind is not wisdom. It is weariness. Today, I lift it. My beloved, I saw what you didn't say. I heard the words you didn't speak aloud. I noticed how your stomach tightened before certain gatherings. I watched you rehearse how to be small enough to avoid their size, careful enough to avoid their jealousy, generous enough to buy their love. But love that must be purchased is not love. It is negotiation, and you owe no more payments. I am calling time. I am ending the contract you never meant to sign. Do not fear the light I am shining. Do not fear the truth I am surfacing. Truth is your friend. Light is your ally. I am not humiliating anyone. I am not scorning your bloodline. I am guarding your calling and restoring your mind. Some smiles have been sheltering a drought of goodwill toward you, and that drought has been drinking your courage. I am breaking that thirst from your life right now. Breathe. Feel your chest rise again. Feel your thoughts steady. I am here. I will never leave you. I am drawing you into an exclusive encounter. This is holy ground, privately prepared for you. Others may listen, but this conversation is between us. Let the room around you fade. Let the noise grow quiet. Let me speak louder than the voice of guilt and obligation. Take my hand again. Trust me one more time. I am not asking for your performance. I am asking for your permission. Say yes to clarity. Say yes to peace. Say yes to me. I know why you stayed. I know why you excused the comments, explained away the glares, laughed off the digs. You wanted unity. You wanted harmony. You wanted what I want. But listen, pretend peace is not my peace. Agreement that requires your silence is not my order. Harmony that silences truth is a cage, not a covenant. I am not tearing your family apart. I am untangling you from what has been quietly tearing at your soul. There is a difference. Feel that difference even now, like a gentle untying inside your chest. As I expose, your world will not collapse. It will clarify. The fog will lift. The spiral will still. I am steadying your feet. I am placing a guard over your heart. I am giving you the words you need and the grace to be quiet where words are wasted. I am setting holy space between you and chaos. I am making you able to stand without guilt as the truth emerges. You will not be shamed into returning to patterns I am closing. You will not be tricked into apologizing for breathing. Do not confuse distance with dishonor. Do not confuse silence with spite. Do not confuse my rescue with your failure. You are not failing anyone by refusing to fail yourself. You are saying yes to life. You are saying yes to me. And as you say yes, I am surrounding you with help, seen and unseen. Angels stand ready. Doors I prepared will open. Conversations will turn. Smoke screens will thin. I am already at work on your behalf. Listen again. I am not breaking your family. I am removing what has been breaking you. I am not here to punish. I am here to protect. I am not here to shame. I am here to shield. I am not calling you away from love. I am calling you away from the lie that love requires you to lose yourself. You will not have to defend what I uncover. You will not have to gather allies. Stand still. Keep your heart soft. Keep your hands clean. Let light do what light does. Right now, place the fear of being misunderstood in my hands. Place the dread of the next gathering in my hands. Place the guilt that spikes when you think of stepping back in my hands. Release it all. Lay it down at my feet. As you release, feel the weight lift. As you let go, feel the air return to your lungs. This is your turning point. This is your moment. I am with you. I am for you. And I am rescuing you from what has been quietly destroying you. My beloved, look at me. Do not look at the performance on their face. Look at me. I am speaking directly to you, straight into the center of your heart. Hear this with all of heaven leaning close. You are not crazy. You are not dramatic. You are not too sensitive. What you felt was real. The pressure in your chest. The way the room grew colder when you entered, even while the words stayed warm. The joke that made everyone laugh while your stomach dropped. The I love you that landed like a receipt instead of a gift. I saw it all. I know how long you tried to explain away the tremor in your spirit. I know how you rewrote the story in your head to keep the peace. I know how you tried to turn the volume down on your own knowing. You sensed something was off because something was off. Your discernment stood up and then your mind sat it back down to be polite. You caught it in the corner of your eye, timing, tone, the way celebration skipped you and then circled back with a plastic bow. They kept the same smile, they kept the same jokes, they kept the same I'm proud of you, the same we're family, the same I love you, and still your inside said something is wrong. That is not madness, that is wisdom, that is my spirit in you refusing to agree with what is false. You have spent nights replaying simple exchanges like court evidence. You have measured your tone with a ruler, checked your words under a microscope, apologized to empty rooms. You have wondered if your childhood made you skittish, if your history made you hypersensitive, if your healing is just not healed enough. Hear me. You are not defective because you detect. You are not broken because you notice. You are not unstable because your spirit grieves where everyone else claps. Your sensitivity is not a liability, it is a lamp. I placed it there. It is how I protect you in crowded rooms. It is how I lead you through smiling danger. It is how I whisper, step back, when everything else shouts, lean in. There is a quiet war you've been fighting, your discernment versus their performance. When discernment speaks, performance smiles. When discernment tenses, performance embraces. When discernment says, wait, performance pours gifts and calls it love. And because you are loyal, because you honor, because you want unity, you've often given performance the final word. You believed the show and muted the truth. But my child, I am unmuting you. I am turning up the confidence you keep turning down. I am restoring your agreement with what your spirit already knows. Hidden resentment rarely introduces itself. It wears politeness like a mask. It borrows spiritual language to sound holy. I'm just covering you in prayer. It hides in family duty. We're just trying to keep everyone together. It sits close, asks for details, then feeds on your progress in silence. It laughs loud at your jokes, but hoards a secret ledger of your wins. It compliments you with a subtle hook. So proud, must be nice. It asks about your boundaries and calls them a phase. It tells you to remember where you came from every time you take a step forward, as if gratitude means staying small. Do you feel the sting I am describing? That sting is where your spirit says, no more. My beloved, I fashioned you with an inner tuning fork for truth. When a note is off, your soul vibrates. That vibration is not fear. It is alignment searching for honesty. That ache you feel after certain calls is not weakness. It is wisdom announcing, your peace has been taxed here. The fog that follows certain praises is not confusion you caused. It is the residue of performance trying to rewrite your reality. I am clearing that fog now. Breathe deeper again. Feel your chest lift. Feel your mind still. I am giving you permission to trust the signal I gave you. I am giving you permission to believe yourself. You kept saying, maybe if I say it softer, maybe if I bring a gift, maybe if I wait for a better day. You tried to find the sentence that would unlock fairness. You tried to make your discernment digestible for people invested in not tasting it. You tried to negotiate with what was not negotiating with you. Hear me. You do not need a better sentence. You need to stand in a better certainty. Your certainty is this. The discomfort is not proof of your fragility. It is proof of your design. I built you to recognize safety. I built you to recognize honor. I built you to recognize when a smile is drywall covering mold. If your lungs burn, stop breathing the perfume and trust the smoke. I am not asking you to accuse. I am asking you to acknowledge. Acknowledge what I have been showing you. Acknowledge the theme that repeats even when the cast changes. Acknowledge the pattern you keep excusing. Acknowledge the way your body tells the truth when your mouth won't. Your hands shake for a reason. Your sleep leaves for a reason. Your appetite hides for a reason. These are dashboards, not defects. When the light comes on, you do not smash the dashboard and drive faster. You slow down. You pull over. You let your maker lift the hood. Right now, I am under the hood of your heart. I am reconnecting the wire between your knowing and your choosing. I am repairing the bridge between what you feel and what you do. You have begged me to expose what is hidden. Hear how I begin. I heal your self-trust because you cannot hold a boundary you believe is a betrayal. You cannot walk away from a trap if you call it love. You cannot bless your future if you keep apologizing for needing oxygen. So I say again with holy insistence, you are not crazy, you are clear, you are not mean, you are maturing, you are not ungrateful, you are awake, and I am proud of you for hearing me even when the room says you're imagining it. Let me teach you the signs you've been feeling. Celebration with a ceiling, help that comes too late to help, advice that always places you beneath, concern that centers them, questions that go quiet when you win, then grow loud when you wobble, doors opened for the picture and closed for the process, promises made in public and edited in private, the "we're family" refrain that only sings when you are giving, never when you need. Do not harden your heart, simply heed the pattern. When you see it, breathe. When you feel it, step back. When you name it, do not rename it to make it easier for them to wear. I am lifting the shame that made you second-guess every nudge. I am silencing the inner critic that took their performance as proof against your perception. I am crowning your discernment again, holy, helpful, steady. From this moment, begin practicing small trusts. Believe yourself the first time. If your peace drops in a conversation, let your words drop too. If your chest tightens before you answer, choose silence. If your body loosens with distance, honor that. This is not punishment, this is protection. This is not coldness, this is clarity. This is not revenge. This is reverence for the life I placed in you. Others might hear these words, but right now, it is just you and me. Take my hand again. Trust me one more time. Let your yes be to the truth inside you that I authored. As you agree with me, your decisions will steady. As you agree with me, your boundaries will become simple, calm, and guilt-free. As you agree with me, the war between your discernment and their performance will end, not because they changed their show, but because you stopped buying a ticket. This is your turning point. This is your moment. You will not lose your mind. You will not lose your peace. You will regain both, and with them, the courage to live from what I show you, without apology. I am here. I will never leave you. And I am restoring your confidence to trust what you have been sensing all along. My beloved, let me put words to what has been nicking your heart in 1,000 quiet places. Hidden resentment rarely shouts, it smiles, it rarely swings a fist, it tells a joke, it rarely slams a door, it lets the air grow thin around you until breathing feels like work. It dresses in politeness, speaks in concern, and calls you by the right names while slowly teaching your spirit to sit down. Hear me clearly. The smile that cuts is real, and I am pulling it into the light, not to destroy your family, but to end the slow erosion of your peace. It sounds like a compliment with a hook at the end. I'm so proud of you. Must be nice. With that slight tilt that makes your joy feel like a crime. It looks like a joke that puts your story on the table for everyone to feast on, then hands you a napkin and says, "Don't be so sensitive." It slides in as comparison dressed up as motivation. Your cousin did it quicker. Your sister didn't need help. When I was your age, it wears backhanded praise like perfume. You're finally getting it together. Who would have thought you could pull this off? And you nod to keep the peace while something inside you bruises. I saw you replay those lines in the shower, on the drive home, in the quiet after midnight. I saw you ask yourself if you were overreacting. You were not. That sting is the truth tapping your shoulder. Notice the pattern. They clap for you in public but correct you in private. They celebrate you with words but punish you with distance. They post your wins and then go silent when you need their voice in the room. They tell you family forever in front of others but leave your messages unread when no one is watching. They are generous with advice that keeps you small, cautious with support that might make you soar. They show up quick for the picture and slow for the process. They are first to take credit for your growth and last to absorb any cost for your healing. Do you feel the pattern waking inside you? That is me, aligning your language to what your spirit already knows. There are moments when the temperature shifts and only your body keeps the record. You walk into a room and the air changes. Conversations tighten like strings pulled too hard. The laughter loses warmth. Eyes scan you and then scan away. The questions turn from curious to calculating. The support becomes conditional, wrapped in clauses you can feel, even when they never say them aloud. We're with you, as long as you don't outgrow us. We're proud, as long as it doesn't ask anything of us. We love you, as long as you keep us first, even at the cost of your own soul. And because you are kind, because you honor, because you love deeply, you tried to meet the conditions. You trimmed yourself. You paid the toll. My child, I am canceling that contract. My peace is not conditional. My love does not require you to dim to fit. Resentment feeds on access. Hear that again. Resentment feeds on access. It doesn't just want to know that you are well. It wants a seat close enough to audit your life. It asks for the details not to cover you, but to monitor you. How much did you make? Who helped you? Who were you meeting with? It tracks your steps and calls it accountability. It watches your momentum and labels it concern. It wants proximity to your private world, not to intercede, but to interfere, not to bless, but to balance the scales it keeps in secret. It collects your vulnerabilities under the banner of closeness, then spends them like currency when the room turns against you. My beloved, I am teaching you the holy difference between love and access. Love protects. Access without honor surveils. Let me show you how it hides in the ordinary. The family dinner where your announcement meets a round of congratulations, and then swiftly, a story is told that embarrasses you just enough to put you back in your place. The birthday where the gift is a reminder of who you used to be, followed by a wink that says, "Don't forget." The prayer that sounds like care but centers their fears about your choices more than your future. The invitation to talk it out, where the talking turns into tallying your faults, while your efforts are minimized as luck. The way your wins become an open thread for critique. Why didn't you do it this way? And your struggles become proof to reinforce a narrative that keeps you beneath. I see it. I saw when you had a good day and the phone rang with a subtle crisis, pulling your joy into a duty you didn't consent to. I saw how the timing of their needs always seems to arrive when your hope is finally lifting. These are not coincidences. This is a pattern. Resentment is clever. It does not kick down the door. It brings a casserole. It does not declare war. It asks for a tour. It eyes your calendar, requests your time, inserts itself at the center, then calls it unity. It prefers the front row seat to your heart so it can adjust the volume when your voice rises. It lives on your updates and starves you when it is your turn to be fed. It pushes you to overexpose, then calls you dramatic. It insists on being included, then withholds presence when inclusion would cost it anything. And because the face looks familiar, because the name is sacred to you, because you long for covenant, you let the erosion continue and call it love. Hear me, familiar does not mean faithful. Blood is a blessing, but it is not a license to bleed you. I am giving you simple diagnostics, my child. Pay attention to the aftertaste. Do you feel lighter after you speak, or do you carry a residue of shame you cannot place? Watch the fruit. Does their nearness produce peace, or do you brace without meaning to when their name lights your screen? Track the pattern. Do they draw close when you wobble so they can be needed, then vanish when you stand so they won't have to celebrate? Test the motives in silence. Stop narrating your every step for a little while and see who leans in because they love you and who leans in because they lost their view. This is not manipulation. This is measurement. This is wisdom. This is me restoring your instruments so you can read the weather of a room before your heart gets soaked. You asked me why it cuts deeper when it comes with a smile. Because you were trained to trust the surface when the person is familiar. You were taught to interpret concern as care, even when concern cages you. You were taught to accept jokes as bonding, even when the laughter files you down. Hidden resentment chooses the cloak of family because it hopes you will keep tolerating harm if it uses the right tone. It hopes you will label your ache as loyalty. It hopes you will betray yourself to avoid betraying them. But I am breaking that lie. I am honoring your heart by teaching you to separate love from access, closeness from control, presence from peace. Do not let the fear of being called petty talk you out of clean perception. You are not petty. You are perceptive. You are not divisive. You are discerning. You are not cold. You are choosing not to burn. I am not asking you to make a scene. I am asking you to stop acting in one. Withdraw your audition from roles that require your silence. Refuse the part of the forgiving fool who swallows hurt to keep the credits rolling. Stand in truth without a megaphone. Stand quietly if you must, but stand. I saw the birthday where your breakthrough became a cautionary tale. I saw the graduation where the congratulations were laced with a reminder of your past missteps. I saw the new job announcement that turned into a panel on why you should be careful, 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 until the light in your eyes dulled. I saw the housewarming where the questions circled your mortgage more than your joy. I saw the engagement that triggered a swarm of what-ifs meant to seed doubt, not wisdom. And I saw you smile through it to keep the room calm while your spirit whispered, "Something is off." My beloved, you heard me. You are not imagining it. The smile that cuts is real, and I am removing its blade from your life. This is your turning point. Do not hand your peace to anyone disguised as a joke. Do not place your identity on the bargaining table under the sign of just family talk. Guard what I am restoring in you. You can be kind and clear. You can be honoring and distant. You can be loving and unavailable to manipulation. When the temperature drops, you are allowed to take your coat and step outside. When the aftertaste is bitter, you are allowed to push the plate away. When the questions are not curious but calculating, you are allowed to say, "Not for discussion." Others might hear these words, but right now it is just you and me. I am not asking you to defend yourself in debates that never end. I am asking you to trust what I show you and move accordingly. As you agree with me, I will show you what you did not see, the private conversations, the withheld support, the secret competition you kept feeling in the dark. I will speak to that next. For now, rest in this. You are not wrong for noticing. You are not cruel for naming. You are not disloyal for stepping back. My hand is on your shoulder. My light is in your path. And I am cutting the cords that have smiled while they tightened, so you can finally breathe without apology. My beloved, lean in. Others might hear these words, but right now it is just you and me. I am opening the curtain. I saw what you didn't see. I heard the laughter after you left the room and the meanings tucked inside it. I watched the nods that looked like agreement while decisions shifted to leave you outside the door. I followed the text threads you were never added to. I stood in the kitchen where the "we love them but" was followed by the "let's keep them grounded" that really meant keep them small. I saw the prayer request that was a dossier. I heard the concern that was a cage. I counted the times your name was used to balance someone else's insecurity. I am telling you this not to set you on fire with anger, but to cool your spirit with clarity. Your heart has been faithful. Your read has been right. I am the witness you needed. I watched the mechanics, the moving parts under the surface, promises made with bright eyes that slipped their mind when it mattered. I'll call that person for you. And days turn to weeks, turn to excuses. Let's do it together. Then schedules shift and you are left to carry it alone while they arrive for the photo. We'll be there, count on us, followed by a silent phone and a perfected apology that still leaves you standing in the gap. I watched doors creak open just enough to prove they weren't locked, then close the moment your foot approached the threshold. I heard, "We're waiting on everyone's availability," while your time was the only time that never made the final draft. I saw the email sent to 11 people and you added 12th, 5 minutes before the room convened, so your voice would arrive too late to count. These were not accidents, this was architecture, and I am dismantling it now. I saw the invitation sculpted to look inclusive while being precisely designed to miss you. The dinner planned in a chat you no longer knew existed. The meeting moved forward 30 minutes without notice so your absence could be labeled unreliability. The family conversation forgotten until it was over, followed by, Oh, it was last minute, though it had been winding for days. The opportunity passed around the circle like bread until it reached your seat as crumbs. The contact list everyone borrows from, but keeps just out of your reach. The resource shared loudly when it would not benefit you, and whispered or withheld when it would. I watched someone pull your name off a list and replace it with their friend, then tell you the list was full. I watched the gatekeeping dressed like stewardship. I have the receipts. You do not need to gather them. Hear me about the contest you never entered. Secret competition thrives where identity is borrowed and courage is leased. I saw the private leaderboards. Who makes more, who moves faster, who gets noticed first, and your name highlighted in a color that made hearts clench. Not because your car is new, not because your title is big, because your peace is steady, because when storms hit, you rebuild without bitterness, because favor rests on you in rooms you did not scheme to enter, because you carry laughter that survived loss, because you apologize when you are wrong and it disarms what accusers plan to use, because you rise without stepping on necks. Jealousy does not always count money, it counts meaning. What you carry is weight they cannot measure, and some cannot celebrate what they cannot control. You wondered why warmth turned to winter right after your breakthrough. You felt the switch flip. The calls grew rare, the jokes grew sharp, the compliments became case studies. What used to be "tell us everything" became "careful now, don't get ahead of yourself." The easy eye contact learned to look through you. The questions started coming in a tone that made your answers feel like evidence against you. When you stumbled, hands appeared quickly, visible, vocal, ready to show up. When you stood, the room learned to be busy. That inconsistency bruised your trust because your heart was trained to expect covenant in a place that only offered contract. You weren't imagining it. I was there. I saw the pattern repeat enough times to call it what it is. Let me translate motives so you can stop writing essays to defend what you sense. Withheld support is not forgetfulness when the memory returns for others. It is rationing. Exclusion is not oversight when your name is precise in its absence. It is strategy. Mixed signals are not social clumsiness when they navigate everyone else with fluency. It is management. Your peace disrupts economies where crisis is currency. Your clarity is expensive in systems that profit from you doubting yourself. So they tax your confidence with delays, dilute your wins with jokes, and smuggle question marks into your joy. I am canceling that tax. I am exposing that exchange rate so you stop paying. Do not fear the word exposure. I am not staging a public trial. I am not handing you a microphone to perform pain. My exposure is a lamp inside your chest. My exposure is the quiet reroute, the soft no, the settled face that refuses to perform access. My exposure is the shift in your stewardship. You will stop giving updates to mouths that turn your story into strategy against you. You will stop inviting opinions from hearts that have pre-decided your ceiling. You will stop proving yourself in arenas rigged to rename you. I am protecting your future by healing your present. I am protecting your calling by changing your conversations. I am protecting your heart by closing the leaks you could not locate. Listen to me now. Release the need to confront every scene I just described. Lay down the urge to gather proof and raise a case. Lay it at my feet. Let me be your defense. Choose clean distance over loud drama. Choose fewer words. Choose fewer updates. Choose smaller rooms with surer love. When they ask why, you do not owe an essay. I'm focusing, I'm unavailable. That's not for discussion. Simple, calm, guilt-free. This is not punishment. This is protection. This is not payback. This is peacekeeping. I will give you practical grace for this shift. Your phone will feel lighter because you will not answer questions that are really audits. Your calendar will breathe because you will stop making space for those who only arrive for the picture. Your sleep will deepen because the investigation inside you will close. Your joy will last longer because it will not be submitted for review. Watch me place real allies at your side, those who do not shrink you to feel tall, those who clap with no hook, those who bring solutions without keeping score. Watch me open a door that no gatekeeper can touch. Watch me make room for you in spaces where you are not a threat to the table because you are seated on purpose. My child, I saw what you didn't see, and I am not telling you so you can hate. I am telling you so you can heal. I am not assigning you to expose them. I am inviting you to step out of exposure to them. I am not tearing down a house. I am teaching you where not to sleep. I am shielding your future from hands that keep moving your boundaries at night. I am restoring your trust in your own yes and your own no. This is your turning point. Believe me. Breathe. Feel how your spirit loosens when you stop confusing their access with your obligation. Feel how your steps steady when you stop pausing for mixed signals. I have already seen the hidden motives. I have already weighed the private resistance. I have already marked the path that keeps your peace intact. Take my hand. Trust me one more time. I am leading you out of unseen cuts and into a guarded, guilt-free forward. I will never leave you. My beloved, let me put my hand on the place that aches and call it by its true name. It hurts more because you expected covenant there. You expected safety, not scrutiny. Covering, not competition. Sanctuary, not surveillance. You were trained to bring your bare heart to a table that shares your name and to find shelter under its roof. So when the cut came wrapped in a familiar smile, it didn't just pierce your confidence, it pierced your covenant expectation. That is why your chest tightens when the phone lights. That is why your laughter stalls when the room shifts. You are not dramatic, you are not weak, you are responding to a broken promise your soul was told it could count on. I saw you as a child, storing memories of birthdays and holidays as blueprints for what love should feel like. I heard the vows unspoken but assumed, we've got you, we will not let you fall. I watched you grow and keep sowing honor even when the harvest grew thin. Hear me, this wound is not just about a moment, it is about a covenant you thought you had. And I honor you for believing in it. I honor you for trying to keep it alive. I am not shaming you for your hope. I am blessing you with wisdom so your hope no longer harms you. You are grieving more than behavior. You are grieving a picture. You are grieving the version of family you kept hoping would appear if you were kinder, quieter, faster to forgive, slower to need. You are grieving the parent who would finally champion you without a caveat, the sibling who would clap without comparison, the relative who would cover you without commentary. You are grieving future moments you painted in your mind, the call that would come on your big day first, the arms that would be wide when you returned from a hard battle, the prayer that would lift you without auditing you. This is why the sadness feels like fog and the anger flares without warning, because grief is not linear when the person lives and the covenant died. I validate your mourning. Let the tears fall. Tears are not proof of weakness, they are proof of worth. What you wanted was worthy. But hear me now, my child. Grief cannot be your guide. Grief tells the truth about the loss, but it does not know the road forward. You have been trapped in a guilt loop stamped with a single phrase, but their family. That sentence has been used like a leash to pull you back into rooms that do not feed you, into dynamics that rename you, into cycles your spirit has outgrown. But their family has excused what would be intolerable from anyone else. But their family has made you tithe your peace to a God called image. But their family has asked you to pay with silence so others do not have to adjust. My beloved, I am cutting that leash. Honor is holy. Imprisonment is not. Loyalty is beautiful. Self-betrayal is not. Let me teach you the holy difference between love and access. Love is what I ask you to carry, pure, patient, forgiving, hopeful. Access is what I ask you to steward, guarded, measured, intentional, accountable. You can love them and limit them. You can forgive fully and still fence the garden. You can bless at a distance without inviting sabotage into your living room. You are not required to open your mind to those who weaponize your thoughts. You are not obligated to hand your calendar to those who spend your hours and never repay. You do not have to deliver your dreams to a committee that meets to file them down. Do not confuse my mercy with your door being forever unlocked. Mercy is the posture of your heart. Boundaries are the locks on your house. You can wave from the porch and keep the bedroom key. You can pick up the phone but decline the interrogation. You can attend the gathering and decline the confessionals. You can share a meal and still guard your life plan. This is wisdom. This is stewardship. This is how you keep love pure when history has made access costly. I know you fear being named selfish or cold, but listen. Selfishness hoards at the expense of others. Stewardship guards for the sake of the call. You are not selfish for protecting your assignment. You are not cold for insulating your soul. You are aligning with the truth I placed inside you. I do not call you disloyal for refusing to be devoured. I call you faithful for preserving the destiny I entrusted to you. Feel me unwind the knot of self-blame. You were not naive. You were noble. You were not foolish. You were faithful. You were not needy. You were human. You are allowed to learn. You are allowed to grow. You are allowed to change the access map as revelation changes the reality. Maturity does not rewrite history. It rewrites your boundaries. Hear me, because this is the turning point forming beneath your feet. Staying the same will cost more than changing. Remaining in pretend peace will tax your health, dilute your joy, and delay your calling. Continuing to hope for what someone refuses to become will starve the future I prepared for you. You have stood at this crossroads before, but heaven has paused again just to reach you. I am not asking you to choose between love and peace. I am inviting you to choose love that protects peace. Let go of the performance of family and receive the purity of covenant, first with me, then with those I will send who understand it. Lay down the script you kept trying to act out, the reunion in your mind where everyone finally sees, the speech you compose in the shower, the perfect proof that makes the room apologize. Lay it down. Release the need to be approved by the very gate that profits from keeping you outside. Release the compulsion to rescue adults from consequences while you drown in explanations. Breathe. Put your case in my hands. Let me be your defense while you become a good steward of you. I will not leave you comfortless as you adjust. I will father you in the gaps. I will mother your heart where nurture was thin. I will send covenant people to stand where the breach has been. Your table may become smaller, but the love will become truer. Your gatherings may look simpler, but your soul will be less crowded. Your holidays may feel different, but your nights will be quieter. Watch me weave new bonds that honor you without condition. Watch me teach you how to be present without being pierced, kind without being captured, generous without being drained. This is why it hurts so much, and this is why I am here so strongly. Because you expected covenant, I am not mocking you for it. I am fulfilling it. I am your covenant keeper. I am your covering. I am your safe place. From that safety, I am restoring your discernment and your confidence. From that safety, I am teaching you the holy difference between love and access, so you can walk in freedom without guilt. My child, take my hand. The path in front of you is clear. Ahead is the crossroads where pretend peace ends and soul peace begins. Choose with me. Choose your life. Choose the future I wrote. Your new season is waiting, and I am leading you into it with a steady, protecting love that will never let you go. My beloved, still your heart and listen. This is your final call. Heaven has paused just to reach you at this very place. We are standing at the crossing where two roads stretch in opposite directions. You have been here before. You know the signs. One path looks familiar. It is lined with smiles and small talk, with careful jokes and careful you. It promises peace as long as you carry the work of keeping it. The other path is quieter. It does not shout. It holds fewer chairs and clearer air. It promises peace you do not have to perform. Today I am asking you to choose differently, without apology, without delay, without offering a speech to soften the shift. Trust me one more time. Take my hand again. Let me name the first road so you can stop romanticizing it. The peace you kept there was not peace. It was the silence you swallowed so the room would not break its ritual. It was your voice edited until it no longer sounded like you. It was the smile you stitched over a flinch. It was your joy measured out in teaspoons, careful not to spill on hearts still committed to smallness. It was the way you became the shock absorber for every mood swing and secret slight. It was your calendar bent to fit their storms. It was the apology you rehearsed for existing too brightly. It was the way you translated insults into advice so you could keep sitting at the same table. That is not peace. That is self-erasure. That is emotional labor presented as loyalty. That is a tax on your soul. You have paid that tax long enough. Feel the cost in your body even as I speak. The late-night replay of conversations that bruised your ribs from the inside. The anxiety that tightens your chest when the phone lights. The fatigue that sleep cannot fix. The second-guessing that mutes your laughter halfway through. The creativity that sits in the corner and waits because it knows the next family gathering will cross-examine it. The whisper of your calling asking for a room where it will not be put on trial. My child, your purpose cannot flourish in a room where you are constantly defended against. You cannot build while bracing. You cannot hear me clearly while you are busy proving you are harmless. You cannot run your race while stopping every lap to explain why you are running. This is the turning point, staying to keep the performance of peace, or stepping back to keep your soul. Hear me? Staying may keep the picture pretty, but it keeps you small. Stepping back may change the picture, but it will restore the person. You have stood here and chosen the picture before. You chose it because of hope, because of guilt, because of the phrase, but their family, because of the promise you made to yourself that one more round of patience would unlock the door. Today, I am not dishonoring your hope. I am honoring your life. I am asking you to choose soul peace over pretend peace, even if it changes how close you can be to certain people. This is not rebellion. This is obedience to the peace I am giving you. My peace, the peace that does not ask you to hide to keep it. Let me give you language for this choice so your spine stands up inside you. Say with me, I will not argue for my worth. I will not beg for basic respect. I will obey God's peace. Again, I will not argue for my worth. I will not beg for basic respect. I will obey God's peace. Let your mouth teach your heart the new rhythm. Let your yes be to life, to clarity, to calling. Let your no be to dynamics that rename you. Your worth is not a debate topic. Your boundaries are not an apology tour. Your peace is not a luxury. It is your assignment. I know what you fear. You fear being called difficult. You fear being painted as cold. You fear that the story will be told without your page, and the room will nod along. Hear me. I will be your advocate. You do not have to host a courtroom to justify your choice. You will not be tried in the place where I have already acquitted you. Let me translate the accusations before they arrive. Choosing space is not dishonor. it is discernment. Refusing interrogation is not secrecy, it is stewardship. Declining access is not bitterness, it is wisdom. When you choose soul peace, you are not closing your heart, you are closing the leaks. There will be a pull to negotiate with this moment, to make a half choice that leaves the door half open so you can still be available for emergencies and still be invited for the picture. Half choices are how cycles survive. Today, I am asking you for a clean decision. Practical, simple, calm. Reduce the updates, shorten the visits, decline the hot seats disguised as conversations. Remove your life plans from group think tanks that always land on someone else's dream. Choose phrases that end the audit. That's not for discussion. I won't be joining that. I have other priorities. I'm unavailable. You do not owe an essay. You owe your soul a guardrail. This is where the burden exchange begins to take shape in your hands. Boundaries are not a personality quirk. They are a spiritual act of stewardship. A boundary is a prayer with legs. It is your yes to what I planted. It is your no to what threatens it. It is a holy fence around a holy garden. It is the way you keep the altar fire from being kicked over by careless feet. When you say, I will not argue for my worth, you are returning your energy to the altar. When you say, I will not beg for basic respect, you are refusing idolatry, refusing to bow to a table to receive what I already gave you. When you say, I will obey God's peace, you are making worship out of wisdom. I am not sending you into a vacuum. I am stepping with you into this new order. I will help your hands hold the line. I will quiet the noise that rises when you no longer play your old part. I will comfort you when the ache of change pulses. I will bring new support from unexpected places, voices that speak life without a hook, rooms where your presence is invited without a test, tables where your plate is not measured against anyone else's. Watch how quickly your sleep deepens when you stop performing safety for people intent on keeping you off balance. Watch how your creativity returns, lively and unafraid, when your diary is no longer a harvest field for gossip. Watch how your faith sharpens when your ears are not busy catching every falling opinion about you. Yes, some will be confused. Let them be. Confusion is part of their process, not your job description. You are not abandoning love. You are aligning it. You are not walking away from honor. You are walking away from harm. You are not breaking your family. You are refusing what has been breaking you. This is the holy difference between pretending at peace and carrying peace. Pretending says, I will contort to keep you comfortable. Carrying says, I will be truthful so we can be well. My child, decide now. Do not wait for the next event to reopen the debate. Do not bargain with me for a softer version of obedience. Do not delay this step and call it patience. Delay has already charged you interest in worry and weariness and wasted hours. Each time you circled back to perform peace, your confidence withdrew a little more. Each time you gave access where there was no repentance, your courage lost ground. Enough. This moment is your turning point. Choose me. Choose the future I wrote. Choose the smaller table where your spirit can finally breathe. You have waited long enough. Speak it aloud, even if your voice shakes. I choose soul peace over pretend peace. I choose obedience over optics. I choose boundaries without guilt. I choose distance without dishonor. I choose clarity without cruelty. I will not argue for my worth. I will not beg for basic respect. I will obey God's peace. Let heaven hear it. Let your body believe it. Let your calendar reflect it. Let your phone show it. Let your steps keep it. Breathe. That is the feeling of a leash coming off. That is the sound of accusation losing its echo. That is the peace you do not have to perform settling over you like a mantle. Lay the urge to explain at my feet. Lay the need to be understood by those committed to misunderstanding you at my feet. Lay the fantasy of a perfect scene at my feet. Your next step is simple. Stay with me. We will walk this out together. I am the lamp for your path. I am your cover as you cross. I am your advocate as dynamics shift. I am your steady when labels try to stick. My beloved, this is your final call. Take my hand. Step back from pretend peace. Step into your soul peace. The road ahead is narrower, but it is bright, guarded, and full of breath. I will never leave you. My beloved, lay it down. Right here. Right now. Others may listen, but this moment is just you and me. You have carried a courtroom inside your chest for too long, opening arguments in the shower, closing statements on the drive home, rebuttals that keep you awake at night. You have tried honesty and humor, softness and silence, shorter words and longer patience. You have studied your tone like an exam, edited your sentences to remove any edge, and still the verdict returns stamped with the same conclusion. Hear me. You are not crazy and you are not failing. You are offering understanding to those who benefit from misunderstanding you. The confusion you are trying to correct pays their bills. The fog you are trying to clear keeps their story intact. That is why the facts keep sliding off the table. That is why your clarifications never land. My child, lay it down. You have made fairness your full-time job. You have tried to become a translator, an accountant, and a defense attorney for your own motives. You count the times you showed up, record the texts you sent, and stack exhibits that prove your heart. You soften your victories, pre-apologize for your presence, and shrink your yes to fit their comfort. You bring your honest self to an unfair process and wonder why justice hides. Because the process is rigged. Because some are committed to a version of you that excuses their refusal to grow. Because if they acknowledged your good intent, they would have to face their own envy, their own fear, their own need to control. It is easier to misunderstand you than to confront themselves. So they misname you, move the goalposts, and build a maze that requires you to beg for what I already gave you. Enough. Lay it down. Release the compulsion to fix what you didn't break. Surrender the urge to manage emotions that are not yours to steward. Put down the project of teaching adults how to tell the truth about you when they do not want to. Set the gavel you keep hidden in your pocket on my altar. You do not have to be your own judge, jury, and bailiff. You do not have to hold court after every dinner, perform surgery on every stray comment, or whiten every story with your side. You are free to step out of the witness stand and back into your life. Let me preside. Let me render. Let me be the defense you could never be because you were too close to the wound. Breathe with me. Unclench your jaw. You do not have to bite down on words to be safe. Drop your shoulders. They have been bracing to catch accusations midair. Open your hands. The pile of explanations you keep carrying has cut your palms. Exhale the drafts you keep rewriting in your head. Delete the message you do not need to send. Close the file labeled proof and hand me the whole case. Place it in my hands and watch what I do with what you release. As you let go, you will feel it. The hum of your nervous system slowing, the fog in your mind clearing, the tight ring around your heart loosening. That is the weight of self-defense sliding off you. That is the burden exchange I promised. I will defend what I authored. I will not let what I planted be renamed by those who refuse to water it. You do not have to perform for belonging. You belong to me. You are not required to audition for rooms I did not send you to or sing louder, to be heard by ears that have pre-decided to be deaf. I will speak for you in ways arguments never could, through fruit, through longevity, through a peace that confuses spectators. I will answer questions you do not attend. I will correct narratives without you rehearsing a single line. I will do it quietly, steadily, undeniably while you rest. Rest is not passivity. Rest is trust in action. Rest is how you break addiction to approval. Rest is how you exit the ring when the match was fixed. Rest looks like fewer words and firmer boundaries. Rest looks like letting silence do its holy work. Rest looks like blessing without briefing, showing up without defending, leaving early without guilt. Rest looks like choosing one small no today that protects your future yes. When the invitation to debate your worth arrives, decline. When the familiar hook of explain yourself catches your rib, unhook it and breathe. When the urge to prove, to plead, to make it plain rises like a tide, say my name and let the tide fall. My case is in God's hands. That sentence is your new seal. Let us practice together. Say with me, I lay it down. I lay down the need to be understood by those who choose not to understand. I lay down the habit of over-explaining. I lay down my survival performance. I lay down the chair I kept setting at my table for accusation. I lay down the gavel I kept using on myself. I place my case in God's hands. Again, slower. Let your body hear you. I lay it down. I place my case in God's hands. Watch how your breathing changes as your words build a new road under your feet. My beloved, I am not asking you to be rude. I am inviting you to be free. Freedom is not another speech. It is a shift in stewardship. Stop feeding the machine that runs on your explanations. Stop watering the weed that grows when you justify yourself. Starve it with silence. Starve it with simple answers. Starve it by refusing to attend trials you were never meant to appear in. That's not for discussion. I'm not available for that conversation. I have peace with my decision. Short, clear, calm. This is not stonewalling, this is soul-keeping. As you lay it down, you will notice what rises. Your sleep will thicken and finally hold you. Your creativity will stop hiding and start singing. Your prayer will return from the back row to the front of your day. Your humor will stop working as a shield and return as a gift. Your discernment will sharpen because it will no longer be drowned out by the noise of self-defense, and you will hear me more distinctly in the quiet. I will teach you when to answer and when to bless. I will show you when to step back and when to stand firm. I will place allies at your side who do not require a PowerPoint to believe you. I will surround you with people who do not misinterpret your boundaries as betrayal. Here is the holy exchange. Lay down the drive to be rightly seen. Receive the freedom to be faithfully yourself. Lay down the mission to control their weather. Receive the authority to steward your climate. Lay down the plan to fix the room. Receive the wisdom to build a new one. When you stop auditioning for understanding, you step into an identity that does not pivot on applause. When you stop chasing their approval, you finally have hands free to carry mine. And hear me prepare your heart for what comes next. When you stop performing, the labels they tried to glue to your chest will stop sticking. When you step out of their court, the names they used to keep you small will lose jurisdiction. I am about to call you by your true name again, the one I wrote before anyone ever projected theirs onto you. But first, set this burden down. This is your final call in this matter. Release, breathe, receive. I am with you in the letting go. I am for you in the quiet. I am defending you while you sleep. Freedom begins here in your open hands, in the case you place in mine. Trust me one more time. Take my hand again. I will never leave you. My beloved, place your hand over your heart and listen. This is your identity moment. Heaven has paused to rename you where the wound tried to rename you. Others might hear this, but right now it is just you and me. I am speaking directly to the place in you that has lived under quiet accusations, to the part that flinches when a familiar tone says your name with a hook. Hear me. You are not the problem. You are not the chaos in the room. You are not the leak in the boat. You are not the reason their storms do not settle. I am removing the labels they placed on you like weights, and I am placing my hand upon your true name. They called you too much because your fullness made their scarcity nervous. They called you dramatic because acknowledging real pain would have required them to change. They called you selfish the first time you stopped overgiving. They called you ungrateful when you refused to worship crumbs as if they were a table. They called you prideful because your steady confidence revealed their unhealed insecurity. They called you distant because your boundary would not let their hands rearrange your soul at will. Those were not names. Those were tools. Those words were not mirrors. They were leashes. They were not spoken to free you. They were deployed to manage you, to shrink you, to make you ask for permission to be what I already called you to be. I know every time those syllables landed, I saw you search your own heart in the middle of the night and say, maybe I am too much. Maybe I do expect too much. Maybe I should be quieter. I heard the way you cleared your throat before you shared joy, just in case it was bragging. I felt your body tense when the phone lit because your nervous system learned to brace for an audit. My child, I honor the humility that made you check yourself, but I will not let humility be weaponized against you. I will not let discernment masquerade as self-doubt. I will not let the fear of their discomfort cancel the truth of who you are. Take my hand. Let me speak your names. You are chosen. You are protected. You are wise. You are emotionally aware. You are called. You are worth loving without conditions. You are steady. You are teachable. You are brave. Nothing about you is accidental. Your worth comes from me alone. You are my treasure. You were made with intention. I crafted your temperament on purpose. I designed your sensitivity to feel what others miss, not to be manipulated by what others project. I placed in you a holy intensity for truth, so you would not settle for performances of peace. I gave you laughter resilient enough to survive loss. I wired your spirit to rebuild without bitterness. Hear me say it again until your bones believe it. You are not the problem. You are my workmanship, and I am pleased. Let me expose the trick that has kept you tangled. Resentment is a poor historian and a loud accuser. It points at you to avoid looking within. It calls you dramatic while building a stage for its own theatrics. It calls you selfish while keeping a private tally of everything it believes it is owed. It calls you ungrateful while demanding applause for basic decency. It calls you prideful when your refusal to grovel threatens its control. It calls you distant the moment you stop volunteering for harm. This is projection. This is a smoke machine designed to cloud your discernment. It is a mirror turned outward. Refuse the exchange. When those words approach your door, return them to sender in your spirit. That is not my name. I am stabilizing your inner world right now. I am quieting the tremor that has made you second-guess every step. You do not need unanimous approval to be right with me. You need alignment with truth. My verdict is enough. Majority vote cannot overrule what I have written over your life. Family consensus does not amend your calling. The room does not have to agree for heaven to move. Breathe. You have tried to win a case in a court that is not authorized to judge you. Lay down the evidence you kept collecting. The trial is over. The gavel has fallen. I acquit you. Walk out. Let these sentences become the rails your mind runs on when old voices rise. My worth is not a community project. My identity is not up for negotiation. My peace is not a group assignment. My calling is not a panel discussion. My boundaries are not disrespect. They are devotion to what God has entrusted. Say it with me. Let your mouth teach your heart. I am chosen. I am protected. I am wise. I am emotionally aware. I am called. I am worth loving without conditions. Again, I am chosen. I am protected. I am wise. I am emotionally aware. I am called. I am worth loving without conditions. Feel the rearrangement inside you as those names settle like anchors. When the old labels try to land, practice this holy refusal. Inhale and say within, not my name. Exhale and keep moving. You do not owe an explanation to misnaming. You do not have to edit your joy to make others comfortable. You do not have to dim your clarity so they can keep their shadows. Carry your peace openly. Smile without rehearsing. Share good news without apology. Cry without calling yourself dramatic. Ask for what you need without calling yourself selfish. Say no without drafting 10 paragraphs to soften it. This is not hardness. This is health. Identity clarity fuels forward motion. When you know who you are, you stop dragging classrooms into every room. You stop turning celebrations into courtrooms. You stop exporting your decisions for grading to people who benefit from your confusion. Your calendar becomes an altar, not an auction. Your conversations become concise. Your updates become sacred. Your table becomes smaller and truer. Your sleep becomes deeper because your spirit is not arguing with a jury that never intended to release you. And when I open new doors, and I am opening them, you will not carry yesterday's dynamics into tomorrow's spaces. You will not place your calling on the same shelf as old accusations. You will not hand your joy to an old committee for approval. Hear me. The next season requires you to arrive without the name tags that made the alarms go off every time you tried to enter rest. Those tags beeped. Too much, dramatic, selfish, ungrateful, prideful, distant. Security pulled you aside and searched your motives, your tone, your timing. No more. Hand me those tags now. Lay them at my feet. I am giving you a clean badge. Beloved, assigned, trusted. Wear it easily. Walk through the scanners of other people's opinions without stopping to empty your pockets. Let them think. Let them process. Let them form committees. You keep walking. I know the story in your head that says, if I don't defend myself, they'll define me. Listen, those who are committed to misunderstanding, you do not need help building their version. Let them write their draft. I am the publisher of your life. I decide what reaches the world. I decide what bears fruit. I decide what withers. I will make your character undeniable where it matters. I will place allies who see you clearly without you auditioning. I will vindicate you quietly, thoroughly, and on my timeline. Your job is to stay in alignment, not in arguments. Let me speak specifically to the fear that you are prideful. Humility is not pretending you are less than what I made you. Humility is agreeing with me even when others disagree. It is stewarding your gifting without spectacle and without apology. It is refusing to place your crown at the feet of approval and calling it love. Walk softly, yes. Serve gladly, yes. But do not shrink to soothe. Do not rename strength as stubbornness because it makes a critic more comfortable. Call it what I call it, courage, faithfulness, stewardship. And to the label ungrateful, hear this. Gratitude is owed to me first. Gratitude is not worshiping people for doing the minimum while they drain you for the maximum. Gratitude is healthy when it is free. It becomes bondage when it must be performed to buy safety. Thank those who bless you. Bless those who love you. Release those who require your worship to behave well. Your thank you is not a leash they can pull. Too distant. Let me redefine it. Distance is not disconnection. It is direction. It is the holy space that keeps your heart whole. It is the room where I can speak to you without the interference of constant audits. You are not abandoning anyone. You are refusing to abandon yourself. My beloved, lift your chin. Let your shoulders drop. Feel how your body responds when I take those names off. lighter, freer, clearer. This is your turning point, sealed at the level of identity. You will not go back to rooms where you must argue to be allowed to be you. You will not rehearse defenses for charges that have been dismissed. You will not carry yesterday's shrink-wrapped self into tomorrow's open field. You are chosen. You are protected. You are wise. You are emotionally aware. You are called. You are worth loving without conditions. Let heaven hear it. Let your heart keep it. Let your steps prove it. Now take the next practical breath with me. Remove your life from the measuring tape of those who resent it. Reduce the updates to the rooms that tax your peace. Increase the time in spaces where your identity breathes. Speak less where you are misnamed. Speak fully where you are known. Do not drag old dynamics across the threshold of the doors I am opening. Walk in carrying only what I named you. I am with you. I am for you. I am the one who names you, and I will never leave you. My beloved, listen closely. Others might hear these words, but right now it's just you and me. You have laid down the gavel and stepped out of the courtroom. Now I am placing a holy guardrail in your hands. This is the difference I am teaching you. Distance is not dishonor. Honor is how you carry your heart. Distance is how you steward your access. Honor blesses, distance protects. Dishonor wounds, distance heals. You can hold your head high, keep your words clean, wish them well, and still close doors that were costing you your peace. This is wisdom. This is love with a backbone. This is my way for you now. Hear me define it so your conscience can calm. Dishonor looks like mockery, revenge, public humiliation, exposing secrets to even the score. You will not do that. Distance looks like fewer details, shorter calls, lighter topics, no confessions, no debate rooms. You will do that. Dishonor throws stones. Distance lowers the volume. Dishonor spreads stories. Distance refuses the stage. Dishonor curses. Distance blesses and then goes home early. You can send a simple gift and decline a complicated invitation. You can be warm at the door and still keep your bedroom locked. You can sit at the table for an hour and then gracefully leave before the interrogation begins. This is not coldness. It is clarity. Let me give you language and practice, because language is a key that locks and unlocks. When you sense the pivot into the old pattern, say, calm, short, steady, I won't discuss that. When the private probe arrives wrapped in concern, answer, I'm keeping this part of my life private. When the invitation is a setup for comparison or critique, respond, I'm not available, thank you. When you feel the hook of guilt tugging at your ribs, say, I'm choosing peace this time. When the room starts to circle your achievements with tiny knives of humor, choose, let's keep the conversation light or I'll head out. When the call turns into a deposition, land it, I have to go now. Your voice can be gentle, your phrases can be short, your tone can be kind, your boundary can still be firm. You do not need to fold your strength to be holy. You can also guard how and where you meet. Choose neutral settings that do not hand your life over to ambush. Public spaces, daytime instead of late-night confessions. Group gatherings over cornered conversations. Keep your transportation independent so you can leave when peace leaves. Reduce the frequency of updates. Not every milestone requires a report to a committee that has already chosen to misunderstand you. Move sensitive exchanges to writing, where your words cannot be twisted mid-air. Keep your plans out of the group chat that treats your calling like a community project. Reserve your deepest processing for me and for safe counsel, people who do not profit from your confusion. This is not secrecy. This is stewardship. Prepare your heart for this next sentence. When you remove unearned access, resentment often rises to the surface, like sediment stirred by clear water. Some will accuse you of changing. Agree. You are changing into who I called you to be. Some will recruit others, rehearse old favors, or resurrect your past to bargain for your present. You do not need to attend those rehearsals. Some will rewrite the story and make you the villain to keep themselves the hero. Do not chase your name through every hallway. Let me walk those halls. Let consistency speak for you. Let fruit defend you. Your steadiness over time will make louder music than their momentary noise. As their voices rise, lower yours. As the spin quickens, slow down. As the push intensifies, anchor your feet. I know your reflex has been to explain until they understand. Hear me, no more over-explaining. It is a trap for your peace. When accusations come dressed as questions, your best answer is stillness and a sentence. That's not accurate. I won't be engaging that. Please speak to me directly, not through others. I wish you well. You will feel the pull to justify, to perform an autopsy on every rumor, to correct every shade of the story. Resist. Silence is not surrender when you have placed your case in my hands. You are not abandoning truth. You are refusing a game built to drain you. Let your calendar be your argument. Let your declining stress be your testimony. Let your improved sleep be your defense. Let your refusals to gossip be your honor. Let your eyes that stop bracing be the evidence that you chose life. Because you will be tested. The first time you leave early, they may scowl. The first time you do not answer a late-night demand for access, they may send a paragraph baptized in family and dripping with guilt. The first time you redirect a conversation, they may push harder with fake concern or sharpened humor. Breathe. Keep your answers simple. Keep your face soft. Do not match sarcasm with sarcasm, volume with volume, jab with jab. You do not need a script longer than a few lines. You are not standing on trial. You are standing on truth. Every time you hold the line will hold you. Every time you choose a calm no, a piece of your soul returns to your chest. Every time you honor quietly and step back wisely, your spirit will breathe deeper. Let me place tools in your mouth and stillness in your body. Before you answer, feel your feet. Feel the ground I gave you. Inhale slowly. Peace rides your breath. Choose a lower volume. Softness disarms accusation. Maintain eye warmth. You are not the cold one. Speak in I statements. You are not policing them. You are protecting you. I'm not discussing finances. I don't lend money. I'm resting that day. I won't be joining. That topic is closed. If they demand reasons, say, I'm not explaining further. Repeat if necessary. Repetition is a shield. Consistency is a sermon. Over time, even the most resistant listener will learn your new language, or they will simply stop asking. Both outcomes protect your peace. Understand what you are building. Boundaries are not an act of war. They are an act of worship. Each line you draw returns jurisdiction to me. Each closed door anoints your threshold with peace. Each no to chaos makes room for a bigger yes to calling. My child, I speak most clearly in rooms where fear is not yelling. I whisper directions in atmospheres where your nervous system is not sprinting. When you guard your edges, you amplify my voice. When you shorten that visit, you lengthen your clarity. When you reduce your disclosures, you increase your safety. This is how discernment grows back, under the shade of boundaries, watered by my peace. Let us practice honor together so your conscience stays quiet. When their name comes up, bless and change the subject. Share what is kind, not what is combustible. Return texts without opening doors you already closed. Send a simple greeting on a holiday without signing a blank check for access. If they lie, you still do not have to. If they curse, you still do not have to. If they withdraw benefits because you withdrew access, release them. I will supply you. I will not let your obedience bankrupt your heart. I will father you in the gaps their displeasure creates. I will be your safety net when you step away from people-pleasing and into purpose-keeping. Say with me now, so your spirit learns the motions. I can love and limit. I can honor and hold distance. I can bless and build a boundary. I can be kind and keep my keys. I can send peace and still protect my path. Again, slower. Let your body hear it. I can love and limit. I can bless and build a boundary. I can be kind and keep my keys. This is your final call in this matter. Do not collapse your boundary to rescue their comfort. Do not sabotage your future to preserve an image I am releasing you from. Do not apologize for obedience. Obedience is not rude. Obedience is holy. Watch what happens as you walk this out. The static in your mind will thin. The ache in your chest will soften. The fog in your decisions will lift. You will start hearing me in the mundane places again, washing dishes, driving, folding laundry, because peace creates space for my whispers. Ideas will arrive without needing permission from an audience. Courage will return because it is no longer being siphoned to prop up pretend peace. I will send you supportive voices who do not require your boundaries to come with a manual. I will lead you to rooms that welcome you without a test. I will teach you to be present without being pierced. And remember, when I expose, I also reposition. As you keep these lines, I am redrawing your map. Your next season will not need as many chairs to feel full. Your table will be smaller and safer, and your spirit will finally breathe. Do not fear the reduction. It is making room for rightness. Do not mourn the noise. It is making space for my voice. Step with me into this order. Carry your peace like a mantle. Guard your calling like a garden. Distance without dishonor. Boundaries without guilt. This is the holy guardrail I place around your life, and blessed are you when you keep it. I am with you in every no and every yes. I will never leave you. My beloved, now that the wrong names have fallen off, hear me announce what comes next. This is a turn of the page. This is a holy repositioning. I am not only exposing what smiled while cutting, I am moving you to a table where your soul can finally breathe. Others may hear these words, but right now it is just you and me. I am speaking directly to your future. I am saying what your spirit already suspects. The next season is smaller on purpose. Fewer chairs, fewer updates, fewer auditions, more air, more alignment, more peace. Do not fear the scrape of chairs across the floor as I rearrange the room of your life. Some seats are being slid back to the porch. Some are being moved to the living room for occasional visits instead of daily meals. A few will remain close, trusted, steady, safe. This is not punishment. This is protection. I am not breaking your family. I am removing what kept breaking you. The circle must match the assignment I placed on you. The voices around you must agree with my verdict over you. The atmosphere at your table must be light enough for you to dream, to rest, to hear me without static. You have been overrun by commentary, too many opinions, too many subtle audits, too many conversations where affection wore a mask and resentment took notes. The new season is trimmed, simpler, cleaner, quieter in all the right ways. Fewer voices, fewer hidden agendas, fewer just jokes that sting later. More clarity, more rest, more joy that does not need explanations. This is what obedience to peace looks like in practice. It is a calendar that does not tremble. It is a phone that does not hijack your nervous system. It is a dinner where laughter is not a shield, but a gift again. As you yield to this repositioning, watch the promises unfold. Confusion will lift because I am removing competing narrators. Sleep will return thick and unbroken because the courtroom you kept hosting will finally close for the night. Confidence will stabilize because you will stop checking your reflection in funhouse mirrors that distort you. The emotional heaviness will break because the backpack of managing everyone's weather will no longer sit on your shoulders. Your body will exhale, your mind will quiet, your spirit will rise. This is the harvest of boundaries blessed by heaven. I know what you fear losing. I know the ache that says, "But it was supposed to look different, God." Hear me with tenderness. You are allowed to miss what was supposed to be and still choose what is safe and true. Nostalgia is not your guide. Peace is. Grieve the picture you wanted. I will sit with you in that grief. Your tears are not rebellion, they are release. Let them fall without building another false table to catch them. Do not recreate a harmful room to avoid feeling alone for a moment. I am with you in the quiet between tables. I am with you at the small table. I am enough to fill the seat you think must be occupied for you to feel whole. I am not only removing, I am appointing. I will assign new chairs. I will seat those who honor your no as much as your yes. I will send allies who celebrate your boundaries as evidence of wisdom, not weapons of withdrawal. I will place mentors who do not compete. I will gather friends who clap when you win and sit with you when you don't. I will create a community that does not require you to bleed for belonging. Your part is simple and sacred. Choose peace over pretend. Choose the smaller table over the larger crowd. Choose the voice of my spirit over the roar of old dynamics. Let me speak plainly about how to live this out. Reduce the updates you hand to those who use them as ammunition. Stop treating access as a proof of love. It is stewardship to limit what drains you. It is holiness to schedule silence. It is wisdom to respond slowly. Curate the room where your heart opens fully. Keep that door for those who have earned it through trust, fruit, and humility. Speak less where you are misnamed. Speak more where you are known. Bring your full self to the spaces that bless your identity. Offer kindness without access. Offer love without returning to the patterns that wounded you. At your new table, the menu is simple: peace, honesty, celebration, accountability wrapped in kindness. No gossip as a bonding exercise. No triangulation as a problem-solving method. No sarcasm hiding contempt. Clear talk, warm eyes, mutual service. Laughter that restores, not distracts. Prayer that binds, not binds up. You will feel the difference immediately. The noise will ease, the fog will thin. You will hear me in the clink of cups, in the quiet joy of unhurried conversation. You will remember what it is to breathe without bracing. I am also repositioning your time. Your margins will widen. Your mornings will not begin in defense. Your nights will not end in review. I am reclaiming your calendar from constant crisis. I am reserving hours for creativity, for rest, for play, for the slow work of becoming. I am teaching you to say a holy no to one more event, so you can say a powerful yes to presence. I am moving you from spreading thin to planting deep. Roots, not optics. Fruit, not performance. Endurance, not adrenaline. Understand this as my kindness. I will let some bridges stand, but narrow them. I will let some doors remain, but I will hide the key for a season. Not to starve love, but to starve patterns that harmed you. Not to humiliate anyone, but to humble the dynamics that refused to honor truth. I am delivering you from the endless loop of apology and overexposure. I am delivering you to the steady path where your yes is clean, your no is light, and your spirit is not on trial. This is a crossroads. You can try to keep the old table crowded to avoid hard conversations, or you can trust me and arrange the chairs the way I am showing you. You have stood here before. You delayed to make others comfortable and paid with your peace. Do not do it again. This is your final call in this matter. Trust me one more time. Take my hand again. I will never leave you. The wind of this new chapter is at your back. Let it carry you forward, not backward. Now that the page has turned, we must seal it. Repositioning without consecration leaves doors unlatched. In a moment, we will pray. We will place the names you love and the boundaries you are building on my altar. We will bless without binding. We will forgive without forgetting wisdom. We will ask for angelic protection over your thresholds, home, heart, and habits. We will invite heaven to guard this smaller table so it remains a sanctuary. Prepare your heart. Loosen your grip. Lift your face. Your yes is not to a strategy. It is to me. Before we pray, whisper it now so your spirit hears you. I agree with peace. I choose the smaller table. I release what was supposed to be, and I embrace what is safe and true. Again, slower. Let your body relax as you say it. I agree with peace. I choose the smaller table. I release what was supposed to be, and I embrace what is safe and true. All of heaven is ready to meet you in that choice. I am already moving chairs you could not move without a fight. I am already closing doors you did not know how to lock. I am already opening windows of light you did not know were painted shut. Stay with me. Do not walk away. Do not close your heart. The exposure was for your safety. The repositioning is for your future. The smaller table is for your breath. We move now into prayer, into protection, into the sealing of what I am doing. I am with you. I am for you. I am the one arranging the room, and I will never leave you. My beloved, heaven has paused just to reach you in this holy hush. Others might hear these words, but right now it is just you and me. You stood your ground. You learned the difference between distance and dishonor. Now let me wash the ache out of your chest, seal what you have decided with me, and place a covering over your steps. This is your final call in this chapter. Pray with me and let me lift what you cannot carry one more minute. Place your hand over your heart. Breathe slowly. Inhale peace. Exhale strain. I am here. Speak with me now. Say it out loud or whisper it if you must, but let your own ears hear your own surrender. Father, I bring you my exhaustion, my confusion, and the wound I did not see coming. I bring you the sting of being cut by a smile, the ache of being misunderstood by the ones I tried to honor, the nights I replayed conversations until my heart could not rest. I confess I have been tired, guarded, and second-guessing my own discernment. I lay it at your feet. Father, I ask for discernment without paranoia. Give me clear eyes and a calm heart. Let me see patterns without assuming motives. Let me recognize fruit without becoming suspicious of everyone. Teach me when to speak and when to be silent, when to stay and when to step back. Give me wisdom that acts in love, not in revenge. Anchor me so deeply in your peace that I do not need to win an argument to feel safe. Father, heal the betrayal wound. Pour oil into the places that throb. Remove from me the need to prove myself to those committed to misunderstanding me. Uproot the fear of being rejected when I keep healthy distance. Untie the knot of guilt that tightens whenever I protect my peace. Break the agreement I made with people-pleasing. Break the agreement I made with false responsibility. Break the agreement I made with silence that kept me bound. I renounce shame, confusion, and chronic self-doubt. Let your truth sit heavy and kind in my bones. Father, rewrite the reflexes of my nervous system. Where my body braces at the sound of a name, teach it to relax again. Where my breath shortens when the phone lights, lengthen it with your presence. Where my mind scans the room for the next cut, retrain it to scan for your nearness. Make my sleep untroubled, my mornings unburdened, my conversations unhooked from the need to defend. Restore my delight in ordinary moments, my laughter that doesn't ask permission, my quiet that isn't fear but fullness. Father, seal my boundaries, strengthen my yes. Harden my no in holiness, not in hardness. Put a sentinel of peace at my doors. Place angels at my thresholds. Let my phrases be few and firm. I won't discuss that. I'm keeping this part of my life private. I'm choosing peace this time. Teach my mouth the language of steady honor. Teach my feet the roots of wisdom. Teach my calendar to agree with heaven. Let consistency be my sermon, fruit be my defense, and joy be my evidence. Father, protect me. Close the wrong doors, even if they are familiar. Open the right doors, even if they are new and quiet. Surround me with safe relationships, steady support, and wise counsel. Gather allies who do not require me to shrink to be loved. Bring mentors who celebrate growth without demanding control. Bring friends who are not threatened by my light. Restrain those who seek access without responsibility. Reduce the rooms that drain me. Enlarge the rooms that build me. Hide me in your peace while you rearrange my table. Father, reposition me. Redraw my map according to your design. Order my steps into spaces where I am seen rightly. Lead me out of circles that feed on my uncertainty. Lead me into assignments that breathe, communities that bless, and work that doesn't tax my soul to pay for belonging. Give me courage to walk out of pretend peace and into soul peace. Give me boldness to hold the line when guilt knocks. Give me tenderness to bless without reopening what you have closed. Father, I forgive. I choose to release debts I cannot collect. I lay down the ledger and the courtroom. I release revenge, reputation management, and the urge to respond to every shade of the story. I put my name in your hands. I put my case in your hands. I bless from a safe distance, and I step back when my peace is taxed. Let my heart be clean, my words be kind, and my boundaries be firm. Guard me from bitterness, deliver me from naivety, and anchor me in truth. Father, return to me the joy of being me. Restore my confidence in the gift you placed in me. Restore my willingness to share good news without shrinking. Restore tears that cleanse without shame. Restore celebration untainted by comparison. Restore my yes to you, fresh, childlike, unperformed. Let my identity be loud enough in my spirit that no whisper of resentment can rename me. Let your voice be the loudest, the kindest, the clearest. Father, I thank you for exposure that protects, not punishes. I thank you for showing what I could not see, not to destroy my family, but to rescue my life. I agree with your wisdom. I agree with your timing. I agree with the smaller, safer table you are preparing. I agree with new rhythms where my soul can finally breathe. I agree with the holy guardrails you have set. Now, my child, breathe with me. Inhale slowly, receive peace. Exhale slowly, release guilt. Inhale my presence, receive clarity. Exhale the need to be believed by everyone. Feel the weight lift. Feel your shoulders settle. Feel your mind quiet. I am here. I am sealing what you have prayed. I am healing what you entrusted. I am strengthening what you decided. This is your turning point. Your heart will not live on a witness stand anymore. Your boundaries will not wobble under old pressure. Your future is protected. Your steps are ordered. Your table is being made new. Say this with me to seal it. Father, I receive your healing. I receive your protection. I receive your wisdom. I receive your peace. I receive the new season you prepared. I will walk forward clean, calm, and protected. In Jesus' name, amen. Stay a moment in this quiet. Let peace settle like a warm blanket over your chest. Let your breath testify that the storm inside has calmed. I am fighting for you. I am going ahead of you. I am behind you. I am beside you. I will never leave you. My beloved, stay with me. Do not walk away. Do not close your heart. This is the moment where private healing becomes public courage. This is your final call in this matter. I have steadied your breath. I have sealed your boundaries. Now I am asking for your yes, not whispered only in the quiet, but spoken where your world can hear it. Your healing becomes real when you choose it out loud. Today you break the old cycle. Today you step forward with my peace. Hear me say it plainly so there is no confusion. Do not return to the room that keeps you doubting your discernment. Do not trade peace for approval. Do not explain your calling to conversations that profit from your insecurity. Do not reopen doors I just shut. Step forward now. Stand in the light of what we have decided together. Choose soul peace over pretend peace. Choose clarity over chaos. Choose me over managing. This is your turning point, and heaven has paused just to reach you. I am inviting you to mark this moment with a public yes. Let your mouth and even your fingertips agree with your spirit. Type Amen. If you choose peace and obedience over guilt and people-pleasing. Type Amen if you agree to distance without dishonor, boundaries without guilt, and a smaller table with greater breadth. Type Amen if you refuse to let hidden resentment rename you one day longer. Your yes is not for show, it is for alignment. It signals to your own heart and to hell itself that the cycle has ended. Now look outward in love. You are not the only one who has felt crazy around a smile that cut. Send this to someone who has been doubting their discernment. Share this with the friend who keeps apologizing for protecting their peace. Bless the weary who need language for boundaries. When you help them, you strengthen what I am building in you. Sow clarity, reap community, sow courage, reap companions for the road ahead. And because we are building a table where more hearts can breathe, I invite you to support this message so it reaches the ones still bracing under false peace. If this word steadied you, like it, subscribe for more moments like this, and if you feel led, use the super thanks to help this voice find those who cannot find their own yet. I will use your generosity as seed that multiplies healing. I will honor your agreement to make space for others to be free. Do not hesitate. Say yes right now. Type Amen. Breathe deeply. Lift your head. You do not need another week of overthinking. You do not need another round of comparisons. You do not need another debate with guilt. Say yes and watch how quickly I move. Watch confusion lift. Watch heaviness break. Watch sleep return. Watch conversations simplify. Watch your nervous system stop living on trial. I am ready to walk you into days that do not demand you shrink to belong. And hear this assurance because I know what rises in the quiet after a brave choice. I will not abandon you in the aftermath. I will guide every step of your new season. I will stand by you when texts try to pull you back. I will steady your hand when the old reflex reaches for apology. I will give you words when you need them and silence when you do not. I will send confirmation in unexpected kindness. I will place angels at your thresholds. I will be the warmth at your smaller table. I will never leave you. My child, let us seal it together once more. Out loud, I choose peace. I choose obedience. I choose the smaller table. I choose boundaries without guilt. I choose to be led by God, not by guilt. Again, slower, so your body knows you mean it. I choose peace. I choose obedience. I choose the smaller table. I choose boundaries without guilt. Let your yes be steady. Let your spirit hear your own conviction. This is not bravado. This is belonging. Now, step into rooms that bless you. Step away from dynamics that drain you. Step into work that fits you. Step out of roles you were never assigned. Step into conversations where your voice is not cross-examined. Step out of cycles you outgrew. Forward, not backward. Peace, not pressure. Clarity, not confusion. I am already in the days ahead, arranging favor, preparing rest, and securing your edges. Type Amen if you said yes. Share this with the one who needs a spine made of peace. Like and subscribe so your spirit keeps getting fed. Partner if you feel led, so deliverance keeps finding living rooms. And walk now, light, clean, protected. Heaven is celebrating your decision. Angels stand ready to help you keep it. I am the one who called you, the one who covers you, the one who walks beside you into this new season. Take my hand again. This is your final call, and you answered, I will never leave you.